Okay, so now we've done some warm-ups to get ready and to get stretched and get used to the shape and the going over our head. Now let's look at the roll itself. So we're going to start from a kneeling position. Just like we did our roly-poly to begin with, we're going to extend our right hand, and if you wish to begin with, you can place your left hand or the opposite hand that you're not rolling on the ground as a support. Now from here, all we're going to do is get used to pushing up, and we need to go over this arm. So we don't want to push this arm backwards. If we push our arm backwards, this is when we land on our shoulder, and this is how we're going to get injuries to the shoulder. So what we want to make sure is that where the hand goes down, this position does not move and our body goes over the top. Okay, so from here we look with our head behind us. Okay, if we look behind, it ensures that our head is tucked in and our chin is to our chest. This is to protect your neck and the top of your head. And from here, hand down, do not move your hand position, just push off with your feet, tuck your head under, hand down, hand in front, tuck your head and push as much as you can with your toes. So the idea for this is that we want to try and get used to pushing with our feet so that we get high. If we push forward this way, you're just going to land on your face, especially if you bend that arm. So we need to think about pushing our hips up and over this way. Okay? Now, once you're used to that, we can then take it to the next stage. We're going to raise one leg. So, for example, I'm going to raise my right leg, which means I'm going to put my right hand down to roll. Again, if you want to support yourself with the opposite hand, that's fine, but I would recommend trying your best to take this hand away as quickly in your practice as possible. If you get used to putting this hand down, when it becomes later on and you're doing it from standing, you'll find that you want to put that hand down, which is going to hinder you later on. Okay? So our hand goes in front of our foot. Okay? And like when we did it on the floor on our knees, we want to make sure that this hand doesn't move and that this is our pivot point. So we pivot over the top of this forward hand. We're going to be pushing with the back foot, and we're going to be tucking our head under so that if there's someone behind us, we can smile at them. Okay, so from here, push and roll. Hand down, push and roll. So what's really important is that we don't bend this elbow. If we bend this elbow, that's when it's all going to go wrong, because all of your weight is going to go into your shoulder, which is how I injured myself when I was younger. It could mean you land on your neck or your head funny. Okay, and the other one that a lot of people do when they first try is it's very common to see people slip this hand back, because we find it easier to curl up in a ball and roll. Okay, but it's very important that this hand does not move. This hand stays where it is, and that is your pivot point. So we go over this point. So once you get used to doing it on your knees and you get used to rolling all the way across your arm and you feel confident, we can then take it to a standing position. Now again, we can vary the height of our position when standing by bending your knees or making your stance wider. For example, if I come back, so we can start either here, crouch down, or you can be up very straight, which is going to make you very tall. But obviously it's a little bit scary when you start. So if you want to start by crouching down and rolling and then building your way up into Kamae, then that's fine as well. Okay, so that's your basic kind of gradual progression. I'm now just going to show you the ukemi itself. Okay? So from Kamae, we turn our right hand over. From here, we turn it over this way, and this part of that hand is what's going to hit the mat. So from Kamae, we turn the hand over, The left hand gets ready by the side of your body or by your obi, and then we lean forward this way. Once again, we lean forward and roll. So hopefully, as you can see from that video, really concentrating on the hand, as soon as it hits the ground, it doesn't move. Okay? Now, some key things about the ukemi for Yoshinkan Aikido. Now, there are different styles of Aikido, as you're aware, maybe you're aware, maybe you're not aware, but Yoshinkan is a style of Aikido, and little things change through styles, but with our ukemi, there's some significant differences. Now, with a lot of styles of Aikido, they tend to bend the back leg. So, for example, when they roll here, they roll and they come up onto this leg. Now, in Yoshinkan, what we do is we keep our back leg straight and as straight as possible. Now, this is one of my flaws and something I have to work on constantly, is keeping that back leg nice and straight all the way through my ukemi. So, let me show you. So from our kamae, as we roll, this leg does not bend at all when we roll. One more time. When we look at the end of the video and we look at how to pop up, the reason for this straight leg will be more apparent. But for now, when you're practicing your ukemi, really make sure that that's nice and straight. Feel like you've been scraping sand along the ground with your foot. For example, here, if you move a few times, feel like you're pulling the sand up with this back foot, and maybe do a few of them. Make sure it's nice and tight and straight, and then keep that when you do your roll. Okay, so Yoshinkan Aikido, we keep our back leg nice and straight. Okay, the back hand, what does this do? When we move on to Hyaku Ukemi, which is where we don't use our hands to begin with in the roll, this is, the back hand becomes your cushion. Okay, it hits the ground first and it softens the blow to the floor, or the blow to your body to the floor when you land. For
Mai Mawari Ukemi.
To begin with, it can do the same thing. You can use it as a kind of break, but it also as a balance for when you turn up and you pop up, okay? But realistically, you want to get it to a point where it doesn't hit the mat really, really hard, okay? It wants to be nice and soft. But what we do is we use it to brace ourselves when we land, so that when we pop up, we can use it for the pop. So for example, when you're here in kamae, make sure it's doing something. Don't let it just flop around, because it looks weak. In Yoshinkan, we try to keep a good posture, and we try to keep everything nice and symmetrical, but make sure that your left hand does something. So keep your kamae arm, the shape in your arm, but just drop it down to your hip. Then as you roll, you want it to come up and follow your roll this way, with the palm facing upwards. If I come closer, so we're in kamae, I drop it down, and as I roll, I bring it up this way, so the palm is facing the way I'm rolling. This means that when I roll, I can use it to brace on the mat, but also for the later, when we do the pop-up, we use it for that. So here's another exercise that you can do whilst you're practicing your ukemi in the dojo. Try to do it on a line. So we want to aim to make sure that our roll is going straight and that we're not veering off at a funny angle. If we can make our roll go in the direction we want to, this will allow us to do our ukemi in a busy dojo. So when there's lots of people, we will be able to guide and direct our ukemi. But also, just when you're beginning, it will help you to keep your alignment and your body structure correct. So try and find a line in the dojo. For example, this one, okay, where the green mats meet the red mats. Okay, and I want to start so that my feet are on the line, and I'm going to try and finish on the line.